Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. If you're new here, my name is Katie. That's actually my handle name, so it's not hidden or anything. I do call this channel Planning My Energy because I deal with multiple chronic illnesses and I'm neurodivergent, and so my energy can often be low. As are many of yours. Many of you out there that I connect with have chronic illnesses, or or neurodivergent. And so I welcome all of you. I welcome anyone, even if you don't have those conditions, you may know people who do. And often you probably know people who do. So, anyway, welcome. I usually do plan with me videos, but I got a little bee in my bonnet. And I did a pre-order of the Sterling Ink undated, and I got an A5 size back in December. And I did a video on how much this fluffed up on the top. It did not fluff up on the bottom because I don't usually use stickers. And that, got a lot of views, and I hope that helps some people. I expect this to fluff. I want it to fluff. I'm fine with the fluff. And I'm fine with putting things in it. The lumps, I'm just trying to navigate around. Because I don't do other stickers very often, they are more noticeable. But a lot of other people love to sticker up, and then everything actually is very flat and they don't really have that bump problem, and good for them. Maybe someday I do see, a lot more stickers that I'm liking, and, maybe I'll get to that point, but I never used Hobonichis. I never, ventured into these other sizes because I was using MoxieLife for the last couple years. I have a Laurel Denise, but this was like the first time of getting this one, because I felt like I was kind of skipping over Hobonichi, and then I found this one. That was the spring version that I got started in April, and it was for all my health notes. I've been going through a lot of different things. I just like in May, I was told I was precancerous, and then in June we found out I had uterine cancer, got a hysterectomy. So I've been through a lot the last couple months, and I still have other chronic illnesses that I'm monitoring besides that. Like, that was on top of everything else. So this little planner was a huge help. I was monitoring like all these appointments. I have notes in the back. Unfortunately, I can't really share much in here. Not yet. I mean, at some point I would love to, but I have to say, like, this little bunny right here with the 4-leaf clover, I got really lucky this year, that I got diagnosed when I did and got it out when I did. So I am very thankful for this little planner, but I still was coming up against, it was still too small, and there was just a lot of distractions. Now, I love the moon phases on here. I love a lot of things in here, like all the information, but it was still too small. I mean, it's still great to throw into my purse, and I carry a pretty large purse, like medium size. It's not tote size. I have a tote sometimes if I need to do bigger things, but it's in like a medium sized purse because I come prepared. Well, the end of June into the first week of July, Sterling Ink had their pre-orders for next year's fully like 2024 printed planners, and I did do a pre-order. And this is not the planner because no one has their hands on the planners yet. Catherine doesn't have her hands on the planners yet because it was a pre-order. She's putting the pre-order in. And And everyone's so excited. And I've seen like 1 or 2 people do this, or like a version of it. But I got super curious because I had gone through and done like the quarterly. Well, because I had done all the stickers in this book, I was like, what would happen if I got a traveler's standard size notebook and used the stickers in it? And I've seen 1 or 2 people do it. I've seen some people just grab this size, which I am absolutely loving. This is one of the imperfect ones because, hey, who needs to be perfect in this life? So, I mean, I was going through it going, oh, it would have been a little nice to, because I know what was imperfect about it. And then I remembered her talking about it at the time. And so I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember it. And maybe it would have been worth a couple dollars to have things line up. But who else is going to have these? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like buying something used. It's something like, if it's perfectly usable. Anyway, it took a long time to put all the stickers in this book. And it's taking a long time to put all the stickers in this book. But guess what? I can't complain about this one because I brought this on myself. And I did want to get a really good feeling about how to use this book in the next 6 months. So this is mid-July, and I'm going to be using this for the rest of 2023. Now, she doesn't sell a sticker kit for this notebook. It's a notebook. There's like in here, there was at least the grid was in here. I've had to hand draw everything. So, but I wanted to share this with you guys in case you get curious. I don't know how many more notebooks she has, but she's probably going to order some more soon. But I wanted to kind of show you what I've been doing. So I got this morning, and I've been stickering in between other things today, but it's taking a while, and I'm not done. I would say I'm probably halfway, getting close to halfway, because I'll show you what I've done. Let's see. So the one thing I didn't have before was 2023, like just the calendar. So these are individual stickers, and I actually got it for the beginning of this one too, because even though this one actually starts in April, which I'm kind of regretting now, and I thought I would regret it at the time, but I thought, oh, these are both spring start, why not? I went back and I'm doing the whole notebook in here because I am going to transfer everything out of here. And when I was stickering, this helped so much. So, like for the week numbers and how many days, because yeah. So to kind of copy her layout, that's the other thing, is I feel like there are people who are just, they got this notebook and they're just hand lettering in this, the dates and everything. Great. You're not going to get any of the bulk that way. I love the fonts of this. And I love the size, and I just wanted to do this for me. So I left these blank. And then I did, this is like the goal setting, but I left some things out. So that's the biggest thing is this, at least not yet. I doubt she's going to change it. This grid is one column off on each side compared to her planner. And so I've had to do some modifications. So I couldn't actually do the four on each page, because it's 999, so it's 27 across. But I have been using the gutter for a little bit of things. But yeah, it's uneven, so it makes it really hard to do like even things here. Also, I didn't need a half year. I didn't need someday. to me, I didn't need those. So I went through and I did just quickly, I penciled these in. And actually, I'm using pencil on a lot of these layouts. I did try a gray, light gray. It's just a dot marker, but it's the other side. On a couple of them, I'll show you. But the pencil to me is working out better because it's the same consistency. When you do marker on top of marker, it gets layered. And I didn't want to do black because I'm going to be writing in black. So goal, 1 year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. Totally fine with me. Like that works. I'll probably make this look a little nicer, maybe the headers or something, but this is going to be health only goals. And then I just have business goals here. And then my personal goals are actually all in my Moxie life. So I'm kind of like bringing things down to these two planners, but for the next 6 months I'm still kind of split into Moxie. So I actually measured this all out. Excuse me, I sneezed. So fortunately, this side can be split into 3 very, very easily. Oh, forgot to mention, I got the B6 kit. So I did the A5 kit for this one, but since this is a smaller one, and she was mentioning during her review of her planner, the planner releases, that beautiful video she did and explained everything just amazingly, that there were some very similar things going on between this and the B6 in terms of some sizing. But you can't just put the B6 headers in here. So this is what I did, excuse me, is that I cut off just a little. It's basically 1 square less on a page, as I was saying. So I split, let's see if I can show this. If you can see, what's left there is about a 1/2 square on each side. Then this, what's left here is 1 square shorter, and that can fit in there. Now I eyeballed it, and I'm keeping this here so they kind of stay together and I could show you. But vertically, everything fits. So, you know, all the time strips, all the calendar strips, all fit. She's just playing with the grid this way. I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of math that went into all her products. And as I saw her presenting them, I realized how much she paid attention to that when she did all these other sizes. So you could use basically the time washi and everything. And then was just playing slightly with the width. So these aren't, like these might be square. I don't have something that measures that small. But I think in the planner itself, the actual grid is just a little thinner, so they're more rectangles, tall rectangles. So I went through and I did the quarters, and I'm going to be backdating because we are in July now, and I just finished these up, so it's nice to finally get these done. The other thing is I realized how confusing. I just kept getting really confused about the quarterly in the A5, and I realized, excuse me, is that I put the day of the week first and then the number. If you can see there, on all of them. And I had a lot of trouble just getting these to line up, and so I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to give this a whole new chance. And then I realized how much easier this was to read. I bet some of you who are watching were like, yeah, the numbers were first. Actually, in her printed version, they are first. So when I read this now, it's so much easier to understand. And it's really interesting why the brain does that. For me, I work in numbers first, and when there's letters after that, it helps that they come after. If the number's first, it makes more sense to me. So I think if they are printed the other way, I would still go ahead and have them this way, but I realized I had messed up. So then I went, and it took a while to calculate this out. So you can see like there's some like pencil mess ups. And then when I put the stickers down, the stickers pick up all the pencil, but that's okay. That's just how this is going to be. And so I could fit 3 on this side, but I could not fit 4 on this side of the same. So in her planner, she has 7 boxes, but they're squished. So I thought, oh, well, if I just use the gutter here, I can fit 4. And I had this over so that the gutter here was like plain, and I had this over one, but then I'm like, wait, I can't use this space over here very well because I started putting the week numbers in. Again, I want to use it as close as to what I'm going to have printed and given and sent to me come fall, using it next year. So I just want to get used to it. You could totally leave the week numbers off. It's fine. But I use this area for keeping track of like co-payment costs and a whole bunch of other things. So I decided to put them all flush into the middle, and this lays so flat that I feel like I have good access to all of these. Now here's where the imperfect comes in. The grids don't line up on every, so this one lines up okay. I think this one lines up a whole lot better. See how well that lines up? That's what she intended, and that's what the perfect ones are. But then you get to, like, I was just doing June here, and the gutter is really big, and this is off quite a lot. Now I made it look like it's less off, but between the 2 pages, especially if you're looking through it, you'll see that it doesn't line up. That's okay. This is going to get well loved either way. So I made it to June. Excuse me. Allergies. I went through all of these, and I used the front stickers here so much to verify that I was doing these correctly. And then I was about to do July, but I needed to film this before we all go to sleep here. So I put in the numbers for the rest of the months. I did leave a blank, even though I would have left a couple more blank, but I know I will have the next planner to start planning in January by the time this, like, I'll have in October at the latest, I believe. So I'm not too worried about planning January in here. If I had to, it's here. If not, it's just blank. Then I started, so I'm going to get the horizontal version, and there's a lot of eraser marks in here. And yeah, I also had to count this up. And again, these numbers up here are just, I think, a tad bit taller than they are going to be in the printed version. So I think there's a little extra space being used up here. So what I did was, these are actually all the same height, because I thought, well, I could squish everything. And I'm like, no, I want to get used to using the 7 tall that she shows in her. Now I went back and looked at those videos and counted out squares to see like what she had. And she had them 7 tall. And so I went through, made sure they were 7 tall. And then this last one is 6, but I'm going to be using like the bottom. So that's what I decided. Like, I really wanted to use those stickers on the top. And that was now the other thing you could do, now there's 2 rows up here. You could easily go up 1 row and you would have 7. I really pondered doing that. And then I just was like, whatever. I kind of feel like I have extra room down there, and I don't do a whole lot of tracking on Sundays health-wise, other than, hey, I took my pills or stuff like that. So I did do most of January, and then started getting into February, and that's where I left off, because it's going to take quite a while to get through the rest of the weeks. So these are all blank. And I counted out, I think the weeks are going to, like, once I get all the stickers in, I think I get to about here. It's not quite 2/3. I think I'll have a little bit more than 1/3 in the back. So these will all be dated. There's just a little tiny pillowing going on. Again, the pillowing is going to happen on this side this time instead of the top, but this corner is going to get a little chunky. But since this is a much slimmer one, I did get the compact of this, so this is pretty much what I'm going to get just printed. And again, I wanted it as close to what I'm expecting. And so then I have all the rest of this back part for taking notes. So yeah, I do a lot of tracking weekly, taking like what I'm eating, what pills I'm taking, upcoming appointments, and then the back, any questions that I have in my head about what to ask a doctor, I'm jotting them down. And for which doctor, because I have multiple doctors. And so it's helped so much to have like, here's my questions. And then when we're on the phone or video or in person, here's the answers. And that's been helping a lot. I think also because there's still so many, I might be incorporating like therapy thoughts back here as well. So it's going to be almost like a complete health journal. What I'd like to do is finish this up. Again, I think there's a little eraser. Yeah, eraser bit. It does have, so again, this is just the notebook. It has 2 dots for splitting into thirds this way, not 1/2, but you can kind of like, well, it's uneven. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see if I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's actually the middle of this one right here to do a middle. And then you do have a middle 2 dots here. So I think I want to finish this up. And then I'm going to be afraid to write in it, just like I was the other one. I love how this like automatically folds open. Putting it on the second page exactly how I believe it is in the other one is like perfect, so I can reference it really well. I might put something else here. These are typically left blank in the other one. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put my doctor's names there or something, or maybe that's under goals. I don't know. But I have to say I'm super excited to use this way. Seeing this layout itself compared to, let's see here, like there's so much more room to keep track of things. And here too, like I love A5, and this is a slim A5. This was just too small for me. There was just too much going on. And I love this like quick horizontal format though. That was the thing. And I see why she used like 3, because their dots are split into 3 on this side. And I did use this line here for quite a bit of things, even in the back. I would definitely use this line here, so I might draw that in the back whenever I'm back there. But I love that this was horizontal. I could use the vertical in my A5 for everything else. But for health-wise, it's more like tracking things instead of time things. Like I would put in, hey, I have a 2 o'clock appointment here. But it's not like it has to be next to everything else in my day, where this one is like that. So just to look at this latest week, I have appointments here and it's in between everything else. So I have all that tracked here. But yeah, a lot of people are using this for health planners, and I see, the appeal of how small it is. And I feel like Yeah, it is a little hefty to stick in a purse. I am getting a cover for it and a couple accessories. So I think next time, I'm hoping to record for next Friday with a little update with all of this. But if you have any questions, if you want to do this, I just ordered her Traveler's standard size notebook. There was only a few left. They didn't have any gold ones or black ones, so I just got the pink with the white, which I'm getting the mist colored with the white. I'm not a gold on the edge for my regular stuff. I am gold on the edge for my journals. And then I ordered the B6 kit. So I think this was about 21. The kit was about 20. And then I also ordered, these were about $3 or $4 for one pack of this. And I got 2 of them because it just is helping so much. And that was a bet. I think it was an even $50 free shipping, in case anybody's wondering. So I also, so this was also I think it's 260. It's the 200, not the 500. Nothing is numbered, but I believe it's the 260 page, which is going to be the compact one that is coming. So, and I already got some smudges on it and some things because I'm doing all this work. Oh, I was going to show, so I did use pencil here, and then on March, this is where I used the gray, what is it called? Let's see. Oh, here it is. This one. It's just the Zig in platinum, and I use the pointy side. And it does draw a really great line, but I can't erase the mess ups. And whenever you double go over it, it gets darker. And these are some of the pen, like when I'm using the ruler, sometimes they don't quite dry, and so there's little pen marks. I just didn't quite like this, and I like to zone out a little bit while I'm doing this, and I found this to look better, even though it's a little smudgy up here with the stickers. I don't know. So I went back to the pencil here, but I used pencil here for the horizontal, and then pencil here, but then I started using the pen back here, and this I could do, like just a bunch of horizontal lines I could do without messing up, because I don't have to go back over them. So I am going to use the pen back here because they will smudge less, and these are the ones I'm going to be using more. So when I do this, it's not going to smudge as much. I know there's going to be some smudging on here. There just is. So that's just what I felt. The other thing is that these are not lined up. In her printed version, the numbers are in the middle. So I had to take the sticker and in this little box here. So I was using like this 2x2 box as like centering the number and then centering the letters. So if you kind of look at an angle, you can see that the stickers are not lined up at all, but visually they are lined up, and that's how they are in the printed version. And then on the top here, I did have to trim these down. So I trimmed underneath the month to make sure that they didn't go over the top. And that's kind of as much as I could trim them. I did trim the tops off this one too. And I didn't move these down. So you could trim the top or the bottom. That's kind of the difference between those. Is like this is trimming the bottom so everything's kind of really flush there. And this is kind of giving it more space. I think that's about it. This I didn't trim at all. I just stuck it in the corner. These were all normal. I showed you like just taking a little bit off of those. These were all normal. Yeah, and these didn't need trimming. Now, I probably could bump these up like one row and could have had more room down here, but I don't plan on writing down here. There is, They do look a little out of alignment, but again, if you look here and see where the stickers actually are, it's because this has a blank line of stickers and this one doesn't. So like the sticker extends all the way down here, whereas this sticker has numbers right at the end of it, and then these don't. So when you kind of pull back, it feels like there's some extra room here, and there isn't here. And again, it's kind of a design thing. It's kind of like when you're kerning letters, like when you're having, like when you put the 2 and the 0 and the 2 and the 3 next to each other, you should actually pull the 2s a little closer to the 0 to make it look a little better visually, and then give a little bit more space between the 2 and the 3. That's, you know, from my design days. It's not a should, like you don't have to. I think these are spaced out well enough that it feels more balanced, but there are certain, especially if you're using serif letters, I guess both. It's whenever you have like O's next to things, like the O in October, the O usually goes a little closer to the C to make it just visually more appealing. It just feels more balanced. It's an art form. Anyway, I think that's it. I just wanted to kind of cover that in case you wanted to try it. And the other part is I'm going to be very much enjoying this. I just can't show a bunch of personal information from this. So I'm not going to be showing like a weekly plan with me with this. If there's any times that I can like pop it into just my regular plan with these, they will be included when I'm just planning this planner. And that's all I'm planning right now. I'm only doing one weekly. We'll see if this makes an appearance. This is going to be all copied into here and then be archived. Yeah, I'm getting like a black cover for this, and then I'm getting like a little blue cover. Well, something that will sit on top of this to kind of give the feel of that blue cover, because I'm not really a pink person, but it's fine. It's a beautiful pink. It's the thicker cover, which I'm really thankful for, because it is going to be used a lot. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'll be using a black erasable pen in here, just like I am with this one. So it'll show up nice and bright, or easy to read. This is basically how I'll be using it in here. And I think that's it. So this is my work in life, and this is my health planner. And I hope that kind of helps. And if you have any questions or want to kind of reproduce this in any way, please feel free to comment down below, or you can always email me at hello@katiesanders.com. And I think that's it. Okay, take care, everyone. And I can't wait to get the real planner. I will definitely show you when I get it into my hands, and I'm going to dive into that and start pre-planning, putting stickers in that right away, I think, for both of them, because I won't have to put any stickers in. But again, I am not complaining. I brought this on myself. I did not have to do any of it. But it's something like my equivalent to it is like if you build models and put all the little decals on, that's what this is. It's very much like that. And I'm just sitting there putting these in, and it just is kind of scratching that itch, even though I'm like, it takes a long time, but I'm still loving it. Okay, take care, everyone. Like this on your way out. If you like this kind of content, and check out one of my weeklies and kind of see what the real planning videos are like. Like and subscribe on your way out. Take care, everyone. Bye.